Introduction to high-altitude environments. High-altitude environments present unique challenges for vegetation. Trees that thrive in these regions must adapt to extreme conditions such as reduced oxygen levels, lower temperatures, and intense ultraviolet radiation. These adaptations are crucial for their survival and growth in environments where resources are scarce and environmental stress is high. Reduced oxygen levels. At high altitudes, the air contains less oxygen, which can impact tree metabolism and respiration. Trees adapt to lower oxygen levels by developing a more efficient respiratory system. They often have a greater surface area of roots and leaves to maximize oxygen intake. Some species also exhibit enhanced root growth to improve their ability to absorb nutrients and oxygen from the soil. Temperature extremes. Temperature fluctuations at high altitudes can be severe, with cold temperatures often causing frost damage. To cope with these conditions, high-altitude trees have evolved several adaptations. They may have smaller, more needle-like leaves that reduce water loss and minimize frost damage. Additionally, their cellular structures are adapted to withstand freezing temperatures, with specialized proteins that protect cell membranes and prevent ice formation within cells. UV radiation protection. In high-altitude environments, the intensity of ultraviolet UV radiation increases. Trees in these areas often produce higher levels of protective compounds such as flavonoids and tannins, which act as natural sunscreens. These compounds help shield the tree's tissues from UV-induced damage, preventing harmful effects like DNA mutations and cell damage. Growth patterns and root systems. High-altitude trees often exhibit slower growth rates compared to their lowland counterparts. This slow growth is a strategy to conserve energy and resources in a challenging environment. Additionally, the root systems of high-altitude trees are adapted to anchor them securely in rocky or shallow soils. Some species develop extensive, shallow root networks that spread out to capture limited water and nutrients. Drought and water conservation. Water availability can be limited at high altitudes, particularly during the growing season. Trees adapt by developing efficient water conservation mechanisms. They may have deep or extensive root systems that reach groundwater sources or store water in their tissues. Some species also have specialized leaf structures that reduce water loss through transpiration. Wind resistance. High-altitude areas are often characterized by strong winds. Trees in these regions may develop flexible branches and strong root systems to withstand wind stress. Additionally, their growth forms are often more compact and robust, reducing wind resistance and preventing damage to the tree's structure. Soil adaptations. The soil at high altitudes is often poor in nutrients and may be rocky or shallow. Trees adapt to these conditions by developing symbiotic relationships with mycorrhizal fungi, which enhance nutrient uptake from the soil. These fungi form a network with the tree's roots, increasing the surface area for nutrient absorption and improving the tree's ability to access essential minerals. Reproductive strategies. Reproduction in high-altitude environments can be challenging due to harsh conditions. Trees may produce seeds with specialized adaptations, such as thicker seed coats or the ability to remain dormant until conditions are favorable. Some species rely on wind or animals for seed dispersal, ensuring that their seeds reach suitable locations for germination and growth. Adaptation examples. Several tree species exemplify these adaptations to high-altitude conditions. For instance, the alpine larch, Larix lyalli, has needle-like leaves and a frost-resistant structure, while the mountain pine, Pinus mugo, has a dense, compact growth form to withstand strong winds. These species illustrate the diverse strategies trees employ to survive and thrive in high-altitude environments. Conclusion. Trees that inhabit high-altitude environments exhibit a range of remarkable adaptations to cope with the challenges of reduced oxygen levels, extreme temperatures, UV radiation, and limited resources. These adaptations ensure their survival and enable them to contribute to the unique ecological systems of high-altitude regions. Understanding these adaptations provides insights into the resilience and diversity of tree species in some of the most extreme habitats on Earth.